What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I have something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be explaining how I plan on reaching $10,000 a month trading. So, yeah, let's get into it. I spent some time making this slideshow for you guys, and I'm going to be going into pretty much deep detail of how I plan on reaching that goal between my risk management, my risk to reward, um, and my account scaling and how I plan on achieving these goals. So let's dig in. So these are my profit goals. I'm going to move my camera out of the way so you guys can see. So before I go into this stuff, this is my back testing data right here. I've done a couple years of data. This is my most recent. I did about 4 months. As you can see, my percentages and everything right here. Average consecutive wins 2.69. Max consecutive wins is 10. Max consecutive losses is 3. Average consecutive loss is 1.36. This is mainly what I look at whenever I look at these winners and losers for my backtesting analytics. And then yeah, so I hope my camera isn't cut off right now. Anyways, yeah, it definitely is. I apologize. That should be good. Yeah, so first thing is I'm going to be looking to make $500 plus a week or $2,000 a month. So that is my threshold that I would like to maintain, is $2,000 a month or $500 plus a week. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about doing this. If I just hit $500 a week and then I'm done, or which I don't really recommend, at least for myself. I don't think I'll go this way because it is gonna happen that I'm gonna have losing weeks. So honestly, for me, I would like to hit that $2,000 a month, or if I hit $500 a week, I keep trading. But I'm very selective in the trades I take, just to make sure I stay in that threshold. But I'm gonna be planning on risking $250 a trade. And yeah, $250 a trade. 1 to 2 trades a day is what I normally do. So, if I take a losing trade, and my draw on liquidity is still intact, I will take another trade if it is a plus. So, $250 a trade for risk and 1 to 2 trades a day. Obviously, I'm starting with one Express account, which is what I currently have, and with my model, I'm taking 1-to-1 to 1-to-2 RR trades, and I would like to stick to this threshold of trading R, the 1-to-1, the 1-to-2 range, because yeah, I might get situations where I'm able to take more than 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 R trades, but I want to stay in this threshold so I don't, get greedy or put myself in a position where I think I can make more than I should. Realistically, I should stay in the 1-to-1 range, but I want to average about, a 1-to-5 R, so I'm making a little bit more of my winners rather than my losers. But on average, most of my trades are around a 1-to-1 R, and then obviously I'm going to be trading the New York AM session. That is just basic for me. I would like to stay out of Asia session. I have looked at Asia session and I've traded Asia session a little bit, but I would like to just stick to what I know and what I'm good at, and that is New York AM session. Later down the line, when I don't have to worry about blowing money on evals or funded accounts, and I'm able to just hop in Asia session and secure winning days, then without really having pressure on myself, That would be a lot easier. I just haven't put enough time into Asia session to really trade it correctly, and the way it's supposed to be traded is a little bit different than obviously New York AM session. So I definitely have to put more time into Asia session before I'm able to confidently trade it. And I think it's best to just stick with what I'm good at and what I know, which is AM session. So yeah, let's move on to our next slide. So this is some data that I have collected from my backtesting session. This was my last session, which I said I only did about 4 months, which isn't that much, but this was March, which was my best month. I did 10%, and easily in the best case scenario, easily, obviously my risk would be different. It would be half of this, but this is a 1R. In this situation, I was risking $500 per trade compared to $250, but you can see easily I'm meeting that margin. I didn't meet it this week here. I did a little bit red in this week, but again, you can see I'm meeting the margins that I should be meeting. But also, as you can see on the flip side here, this is my worst month. I am not quite meeting those margins. So the way that I'm gonna have to go about this is either I up my risk to $500 per trade, and you know I'm meeting this threshold a lot easier just by winning, averaging one winning trade a week, which even here, I'm hitting most of the time. So in order for me to really hit that threshold that I'm trying to get to, I'm going to be needing to risk a little bit more than the 250, but I plan on starting out with the 250 risk just to build that consistency and not just blow through accounts. And I recommend this just at least until you're able to build a good buffer and have confidence trading on the funded level. I've found a lot of stress with upping my risk of $500. It just seems like a bit too much when you're not, 100% dialed in and super, super confident. So, yeah, this is just data. I will be upping my risk as I start to stack more accounts, which I will get into later. But for now, 250 risk until I'm able to expand on that. So let's get into the next thing. What is, just so you guys can see, so this slide is what is currently stopping me now. So I've obviously put in a few things here that is what I feel is currently holding me back from what I'm trying to achieve. I think it's important for you guys whenever you're trying to go for a certain goal or, whatever it is. I think it's good to reflect on what you're doing good and what you're doing bad, and write it down and really think in your mind and think to yourself, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do to fix this problem that I'm having? And as you can see here, I've written it down. So the first thing that I am having troubles with that will prevent me and delay me from reaching what I'm trying to achieve is my consistency. I've had a lot of problems staying consistent in my wins and staying away from losses. In my back testing, I do great. I take very few losses, but in the live markets, I've been having a lot of problems, especially in January, February, and navigating my way through the markets. So I am minimizing my losses and staying consistent and wins. So that is one thing I will need to be working on. The second thing is forcing setups, and this is kind of goes into my consistency a little bit, because me forcing these setups is what's making me have problems with my consistency. So a lot of things, something that's been happening to me a lot is I'm very patient, and then I get to a situation where I'm eager to trade, or I see a setup that is half decent, that it's like, okay, this may play out, or this could play out. Instead of me having full conviction in the trade, I sometimes enter like these trades that just aren't really good trades, and then in hindsight I look back at them and I'm like, oh yeah, this was not a good trade, and I could have navigated this a lot differently. So I've been putting in a lot of work trying to reflect. I do, at the end of the week, I go through like a weekly analysis of the trades I took, and I go over them, review them, and I've been having a lot of good benefits from that. And moving forward, I'm really putting in my mind what I have to do and go about to stop forcing these setups and taking bad trades, and in return, stick to these good setups and lead me towards profitability and consistent results. Um, Another thing that a lot of people, and including myself, have problems with is rushing the process, because it is very easy to see the potential of what you can achieve in this niche, and it's very easy to try and rush the process, and that just puts you farther and farther away from where you want to be. So I just have problems wanting to get a payout and consistently make money and get out in the situation that I'm in, just like anyone else watching this video. They want to get out of the situation they're in, and obviously trading can do that for you. But I really want to take the time to not rush the process, take it slow, and just let my winning statistic and my winning model play out in the long run. So that is one thing I want to make sure I do and remind myself of, and just keep moving forward with that in mind. The fourth thing is just distractions. I have to trade at school because I'm still in high school, and I find myself a lot of the times getting distracted with classmates and just school. I also go to a technical school, so I'm trading in shop slash while I'm working. So I'm gonna try to do my best to stay focused and do what I can to take smart trades according to what I'm given. Sometimes when I'm on shop weeks and I'm actually working, I'm not able to look at the charts all the time during the AM session, which can get in the way. But the way I want to go about it is taking it slow, and if I'm not able to view the charts, I just simply will not trade unless I get a good analysis of the market. I do not want to go into trades with a bad analysis on the market. I want to make sure I know what is going on, because it's very easy to miss out on small things, and this could easily make your trade invalid just by missing some small details. So I want to make sure I have a clear mind and I'm not distracted when I'm going into the marketplace. So that is four things that I think is delaying me and stopping me from getting to what I want to achieve. So these are some things that I just want to work on, and I wrote them down to talk about them and keep it in my mind and refresh myself on this as I'm trading and navigating the market. On to the next slide. What am I doing correctly that I need to keep doing? So first thing, pretty basic, journaling. I journal every day. Pre-market analysis, which is just my buys for the day, and then I do a pre-market analysis, which is what I took, if I took anything. If I didn't, I'll still journal what happened during the AM session and why I didn't take a trade or why I did take a trade. And I do actually post all this stuff in the Discord that I have with my friends that trade with me as well. I post in it every single day, every morning, my analysis on the market, and we all talk about it. Okay, number 2 is backtesting. This is a good way to practice and keep a nice enlightened mind, and to refresh yourself on your model and how you like to execute on the market. This runs you through tons and tons of price action, and you're able to know how to navigate the market in a bunch of different scenarios. So I do about 5 days or a week of backtesting every single day. a week's data, and this helps me to really stay on edge with my model and know how to execute and navigate the markets correctly. So that's the second thing I want to make sure I keep doing. Third thing that I want to make sure I keep doing is a weekly recap of my trades and what I took. This helps me actually a lot, like I said earlier, because I'm able to reflect on the things I did good and did bad, and seeing some of these trades in hindsight really helps me understand and know what I could have done differently going into the week or into the day, and how I could have executed differently moving forward. And I'm able to journal that and use that data for my advantage as I keep moving through the markets. So yeah, my fourth thing that I want to make sure I keep doing is my weekly bias. Every Sunday I will write out a weekly bias, kind of like a journal, and I will paste that into the Discord. This is just where I see the weekly candle expanding. If I want to see it open lower, manipulate something, and then expand higher, whatever it is, I journal it, and this helps me go into the week with a good bias intraday, because I'm able to kind of navigate according to this bias that I have and this understanding of what the weekly candle is going to do. So I've found a lot of success in the weekly bias and using that to then take my intraday trades according to that bias and align with that weekly bias in the higher time frame. So this helps a lot. I definitely recommend you guys doing this if you can. Yeah. And then my last thing is my scaling plan. So this is, I might have to cut my camera off for this, guys. I'm sorry. This right here, actually, you know what? Here we are. This right here is my scaling plan. This is how I plan to scale accounts to achieve $10,000 a month. So as you can see in the top here, $10,000 a month is $2,000 across 5 accounts. That's realistically all you need to achieve $10,000 a month, which really, if you think about it, is not that hard. With risking $250 a trade, it's a little bit more difficult, but achieving this with $500 risk, which is 1% risk, is realistically not that hard. This is a 4% increase each month with your account. This is 4 winning trades. Like, you have to be up by 4 trades at the end of the month, which, if you think about it, isn't really that hard. But I'm trying to build my consistency and I want to be very, very confident in my trading with that $250 risk. So I personally am going to be starting this, or just what I have been doing is risking the $250, which is 0.5% per trade, just to kind of build that consistency and have good risk management, so I'm able to eat away some losses without blowing my account. Where with this $500 risk, if I lose 4 trades in a row, then bang, I'm done. Account's blown, accounts are gone. So I'm going to be starting with that $250 risk, but I will be upping it as I get more consistent and have a lot more understanding and not really understanding, but just a lot more consistency in my trading. So once those things are getting in the way of me achieving these goals start to die down, and I'm getting better with managing those things, and I have very good consistency with extracting money from the markets, then I'll be upping my risk. But let's get into the scaling. Enough yapping. So my first plan to doing this, first step, is to get a payout across just one account. So I would like to get a payout for at least $500 across this one account. Whether that's me whatever the payout, I'm currently trading for Lucid Trading. So I need 5 winning days with $100 plus as a winning day, and I think 40 or 50% consistency. I think there's a 100% withdrawal, so I could take out just $500 if that's all I have. I would have to double check on that, but whatever the payout rule is, I would like to take $500. So realistically, I'd like to have an account balance of at least $1,000. Plus, realistically, I'd like it to be anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500. But I want to take a $500 payout, no matter what it is, $500 plus. Okay, that is my first step. Realistically, I want it to be $500 to $1,000 payout. I want to secure these markets, secure the money, extract it from the market, because I have had 2 times now where I have built an account balance to $1,000 plus and then not taking the payout and blowing the account, and that sucks because that is money that I could have extracted and put into my bank account, but I have not. So if I get to that stage where I'm able to withdraw money, $500 and up, I'm going to withdraw money. Okay, I will leave myself a little bit of a buffer. So again, this is where the $250 risk goes into play. If I'm able to take a payout, I would like to have at least $1,000 at least in my account. So if I take a $500 payout, $1,000 account balance, $250 risk, that gives me 2 trade buffer to until I blow the account. Okay, so $1,000 plus in the account, $500 payout on the first account. Okay, then step 2, we reinvest $100 to $200 depending on what firm you use. Okay, into 2 more accounts. Okay, bang. Now you have 3 accounts, and your $500 that you took as a payout, your profit is now $300 total. Okay, obviously that's because you took a $500 payout, you invested, let's say, $200, which is the most, so that brings your $500 total down to $300. Okay, but now you have 3 accounts. So what you do, you pass those 2 accounts, whether you wait and then full port them, pass them, or you just pass them while you're trading your other account. But the goal is to take this 3 accounts and get another payout, or just pass them, and you want to get more payouts before you keep reinvesting. Okay, so while I'm trying to pass these accounts, I take a payout on my first account that I passed and got a payout on, either that account or just all 3 of them. I want to get a payout on each of these accounts, or just a payout on that first account I passed. You know, if it happens that I'm still trying to pass these accounts and I get a payout on my first account, then I'll use that. But I would like to strategically do this, so I am trading these new evals to then scale these accounts that I have. So whether that's news, which is very likely because I do like to just get them out of the way. Full port news, it's a pretty good win rate. There's lots of news events that you can use this method for. I can post a video for that if any of you guys want to know how to full port accounts on news. I can teach you guys that. But yeah, payouts on each of these accounts. I would like to do another $500 at least on these accounts. Even if it's just one of them, even if I don't get them on all 3, as long as I pass these 2 accounts I just got to then build my accounts to 3 of them, that is what I want to do. Another thing that I want to get into is, once you have more than one account, I plan on using what's called TradeC. I haven't been using it yet because it's still in development, but Lucid Trading has made an app called TradeC, or a platform called TradeC. It's very, very similar to TopStep X. It's basically the same exact thing. It has a copy trading software in there, so I don't have to pay for copy trading software, which is nice. But there's copy trading software in there that I can use that I plan on using once I actually start scaling. But obviously I want to get that first payout first. So I will be using either Tradesy or any type of copy trader, but you do have to pay for that. So I would like to use Tradesy if possible. But yeah, that is what my plan is there. And then if I get $500 on each account, that is about $1,500 to $3,500, depending on if I have a buffer on these accounts. So if I take, just say I stop trading that first funded account, pass those new evals, and then start copy trading all of them together. I already have a buffer on that first account, but I don't on the other two accounts I just bought. So as I'm trading them, building a buffer on those other two accounts, I already have that buffer, so that's getting added on to that original account. So that's kind of just what I put in there. So that would be about $1,500 to $3,500 profit on top of that. That would be my profit for that payout. Okay, bank. And then we reinvest another 100 to 200 into 2 more accounts, then bringing my account total to 5 accounts. My profit between that third step to the fourth step is now $1,300. You can see the compound that is being put into hand here as I start getting more accounts. The profit is changing, and drastically just by having 2 more accounts. My profit goes from 300 to 1500. Sorry, goes from 300 to 1300 / 3300, depending on what I do. It could be more than 3300, but if I stick to what my plan is, I would like to be around here, that $1,300 to $3,300 range. And then once I have those 5 accounts, is rinse and repeat the same process. I want to pass those accounts, but now I am at my threshold that I need to be at in order to reach my 10K a month. So now that I have those 5 accounts, my plan is to have a $2,000 month, which I said before should not be that hard. At this point, I've proven to myself that I can consistently get payouts. I've scaled to the point where I have 5 accounts. I should be risking $500 per trade now at this point, okay? I've gotten payouts, multiple payouts in a row. I'm reinvesting those into more accounts, okay? 5 accounts, $2,000 month, okay? That is not hard. That is literally $500 every week. So that's literally one winning trade with $500 risk every week, just one trade. So that across 5 accounts, I would like to build a good buffer at this point if I'm able to. I've proven to myself that I can make money consistently. I want to build a buffer, $2,000, and then $2,000 on top of that. So that is $4,000 across these 5 accounts. So that is $20,000, okay? And then withdraw half of that, $10,000 is my total. Now, bang, that is my goal. It's hit. But what is so good about this when I'm able to build this buffer, and this is why I would want to do this when I get to this point, is that once I build that buffer, all I have to do is hit that 5 winning days and that consistency, and then I'm just able to straight withdraw. And hopefully at that point, I'm able to consistently hit that $2,000 plus profit every single time I'm going for these payouts. So, and as I keep scaling, as I keep getting better, this $10,000 is going to be nothing. That's just $2,000 a month on one account, copied 4 other times. If I'm making $4,000 on this one account that's copied 5 times, 4 times, whatever, that's now $20,000. Plus, as I keep doing this and I'm scaling in more accounts, this profit is just going up and up and up and up and up. But this is just the very, very basic way and very achievable way that I can reach $10,000 a month. And I wanted to share this with you guys because this is what my game plan is, and I think that you guys should at least think about what I'm doing and maybe change a little bit of things, or if you want to, just copy what I'm doing. But I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just showing you what my plan is and my game plan, because I would like to document it and come back and look at it and just vocalize it and have it in my brain so I can think about it. But realistically, guys, I do think I can do this in the next year 100%. I just have to be consistent, and this is very, very achievable. It's very achievable. I just have to stay consistent and trade smart. Like I said, those bad habits that are getting in the way, I have to break those, and I think this is definitely something that I can do in a year. So I just wanted to come out and show you guys this plan, and I hope you guys can use some of this to your advantage, or at least to think about. If you have any things, anyone who is doing these numbers on a consistent basis, if you have anything to say about what I've put down here, if you agree, don't agree, put it in the comments. I would love to hear whatever you guys have thinking, like whatever you guys are thinking about with what I have here. But that's going to end it here, guys. I appreciate it if you made it all the way through the video. I put some good time and effort into this, so I hope you guys appreciate this, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.